Hey everyone, welcome back once again. Today I'm sharing 7 life-changing habits that transform my life in just 1 week. Sounds wild, right? But trust me, these are game changers. From boosting productivity to enhancing your mood, these habits are quick, actionable, and impactful. So grab a drink, settle in, and let's get started. Habit number 1, daily reflection. Daily reflection is a powerful habit that can bring a sense of clarity and insight into your life. Imagine this. Each night, as you wind down from your day, you take a few quiet moments to yourself. You reflect on what happened, how you felt, and how you responded to different situations. It might seem simple, but this practice can profoundly impact your mindset. When I first started incorporating daily reflection into my routine, I was surprised by how much I learned about myself. I began to notice patterns in my emotions and behaviors. For instance, I realized that I was more productive and positive on days when I started with a clear plan. Reflecting on these observations helped me make better decisions and set more realistic goals. One evening, after a particularly challenging day, I sat down to reflect. I wrote about the stress I felt at work and how I reacted. This reflection helped me see that my stress was often due to my own expectations, not external pressures. By understanding this, I was able to approach similar situations with a calmer mindset the next day. Daily reflection isn't just about analyzing your day, it's about understanding yourself better and making conscious choices. Start by setting aside just 5 to 10 minutes each evening to jot down your thoughts. Over time, you'll find that this small habit provides valuable insights into your actions and emotions, helping you grow personally and professionally. Habit number 2, goal setting. Goal setting is more than just writing down what you want to achieve. It's about creating a roadmap for your future. When I first started setting goals, I was overwhelmed by the sheer number of things I wanted to accomplish. But breaking them down into clear, achievable steps made all the difference. For example, one of my goals was to improve my fitness level. Instead of aiming for a vague goal like get fit, I set specific targets. Exercise 3 times a week, run a 5K in under 30 minutes, and eat healthier meals. I reviewed these goals weekly, celebrating small victories and adjusting my plans as needed. One particularly memorable moment was when I reached a milestone I had been working towards for months, a personal best in my 5K run. Reviewing my progress had kept me motivated, and achieving that goal was a testament to the power of clear, actionable steps. Goal setting is about more than just ticking off boxes. It's about maintaining focus and motivation. Start by setting 1 or 2 clear goals and break them down into smaller, manageable tasks. Regularly review your progress, celebrate your achievements, and adjust your plans as needed. This habit can turn your dreams into tangible realities. Habit number 3, creative expression. Creative expression is a gateway to understanding and releasing your emotions. Whether it's through painting, writing, music, or another form of art, engaging in creative activities can be incredibly therapeutic. When I began exploring creative outlets, I was amazed at how much it helped me process my feelings and ideas. One of my favorite experiences was when I took up painting. Initially, I was hesitant, thinking my lack of skill would make it frustrating. But as I allowed myself to just enjoy the process, I discovered a new way to express my emotions. Each brushstroke became a way to release stress and explore my inner world. Another time, I wrote a short story inspired by a challenging personal experience. Writing it down allowed me to confront and understand my emotions in a way I hadn't before. The act of creating something from my experiences brought a sense of relief and accomplishment. Creative expression isn't about perfection, it's about personal release and exploration. Find a medium that resonates with you and give yourself permission to create freely. Whether it's painting, writing, or making music, this habit can be a powerful tool for emotional well-being and personal growth. Habit number 4, digital detox. In our hyper-connected world, taking regular breaks from screens and social media can be a game changer. I used to be constantly glued to my phone, checking notifications and scrolling through feeds. It wasn't until I committed to a digital detox that I realized how much stress and distraction it was causing. One weekend, I decided to unplug completely. I turned off all notifications, left my phone in another room, and spent time engaging in offline activities. I went for walks, read a book, and had meaningful conversations with friends and family. The experience was refreshing and eye-opening. During this detox, I noticed a significant decrease in my stress levels. Without the constant barrage of information, I felt more focused and present in my daily life. I also found that my relationships improved as I was more engaged and attentive during conversations. If you're feeling overwhelmed by digital distractions, consider starting with small steps. Designate specific times for checking your phone or social media, and set aside periods each day to disconnect completely. This habit can bring a sense of calm and improve your overall well-being, helping you reconnect with what truly matters. Habit number 5, waking up early. Let's kick things off with the first habit that revolutionized my life, waking up early. Now, I'll be upfront with you, I was never a morning person. My bed was my sanctuary, and the snooze button was my best friend. Mornings felt like a chaotic rush, and I often started my day feeling frazzled. But I decided to give waking up early a shot, and it turned out to be a game changer. I began by setting my alarm for 5 a.m. The first few days were tough. I remember dragging myself out of bed feeling groggy and questioning whether this was worth it. But I persevered, and by the third day, something incredible happened. I started to appreciate the calm and tranquility of the early morning hours. There was something almost magical about being up before the rest of the world when everything was still. With these extra hours in the morning, I found time for activities I never had before. I started my day with some light exercise, nothing too strenuous, just stretching or a short jog around the neighborhood. This not only woke me up, but also gave me an energy boost for the day ahead. I also incorporated some meditation and intention setting into my morning routine. These moments of mindfulness made a noticeable difference in my overall mindset and productivity. Another surprising benefit of waking up early was the lack of rush. I had ample time to enjoy a healthy breakfast, savor my coffee, and plan my day. This calm start set a positive tone for the entire day. I felt more organized, less stressed, and had a greater sense of control over my time. One memorable morning was when I watched the sunrise from my balcony. It was a simple yet profoundly beautiful moment. As the sky transformed and the world slowly came alive, I felt a deep sense of gratitude and peace. Now, waking up early might not be everyone's cup of tea, but I encourage you to give it a try, even if it's just for a week. Start by waking up just 15 minutes earlier than usual and gradually increase it. You might be surprised by the positive impact it can have. It's not just about having more hours in the day, but using those hours to start your day with intention and mindfulness. Habit number 6, journaling. Habit number 3 is journaling. Now, I used to think journaling was just for people who had loads of free time or were naturally introspective. I was skeptical. I mean, who has time to sit down and write about their day when there's so much going on? But 1 week of consistent journaling completely shifted my perspective, and it became a cornerstone of my personal growth journey. I started simple. Every night before bed, I dedicated just 10 minutes to journaling. I bought a plain notebook and a pen that felt comfortable in my hand. No fancy apps, no pressure to make it look pretty, just me and my thoughts. The first night, I stared at the blank page, unsure of what to write. But then I began with something basic: how my day went, what made me happy, and what I struggled with. As the days went by, I started to dive deeper. I wrote about my goals, my fears, my dreams, and even my insecurities. It was like having a conversation with myself, and that's when the magic happened. I began to notice patterns in my thoughts and behaviors. I realized that some of the things I worried about were completely out of my control, while others were areas where I could take actionable steps. One night, I remember writing about a particularly stressful day at work. By putting my thoughts on paper, I was able to process my emotions better. I wrote about what specifically stressed me out, how it made me feel, and what I could do differently next time. This simple act of reflection helped me gain clarity and feel more in control of my emotions. Another powerful aspect of journaling was tracking my progress. I noted down small victories and milestones, no matter how minor they seemed. Looking back at these entries filled me with a sense of accomplishment and motivated me to keep pushing forward. For instance, I wrote about a presentation I was nervous about and how I prepared for it. Seeing my preparation process and the positive outcome documented in my journal was incredibly encouraging. I also started a gratitude section in my journal. Every day I wrote down 3 things I was grateful for. This practice shifted my focus from what was lacking in my life to appreciating what I already had. It was a simple yet profound shift that brought more positivity into my daily life. One particularly memorable entry was about a random act of kindness I experienced. A stranger helped me when I was struggling with my grocery bags. Writing about this act of kindness not only made me feel grateful, but also inspired me to pay it forward. Through journaling, I discovered a lot about myself, my desires, my fears, my strengths, and my weaknesses. It became a form of therapy, a way to untangle the complex web of thoughts and emotions that we all carry around. It provided a safe space where I could be completely honest with myself without fear of judgment. If you've never tried journaling, I highly encourage you to start. Don't worry about writing perfectly or having profound thoughts. Just write whatever comes to mind. It could be a stream of consciousness, a recap of your day, or reflections on a specific event. Give yourself the freedom to express whatever you're feeling. You might be surprised at how much clarity and peace it brings into your life. Remember, it's not about what you write, but the act of writing itself that can be so transformative. Habit number 7. Reading now. Let's talk about habit number 4. Reading. I used to think I didn't have time to read. With a busy schedule, picking up a book felt like a luxury I couldn't afford. But once I made reading a priority, it became one of the most enriching and life-changing habits in my daily routine. I started with a goal of reading just 10 pages a day. It doesn't sound like much, but it was a manageable goal that fit into my busy life. I chose books that interested me, whether it was fiction, self-development, or even biographies. The key was to make reading enjoyable, not a chore. One of the first books I picked up was a self-help book recommended by a friend. I was skeptical at first, but as I started reading, I found myself completely absorbed. The insights and advice were not only practical, but also deeply resonated with what I was going through at the time. It was like having a mentor in the palm of my hand. Another book that had a profound impact on me was a novel about overcoming adversity. The story was so compelling that I couldn't put it down. The characters' struggles and triumphs mirrored some of my own challenges, and I found myself reflecting on my life in a new way. Reading fiction also allowed me to escape into different worlds, experience different perspectives, and expand my imagination. Each day, as I read my 10 pages, I felt a sense of accomplishment. It became a ritual that I looked forward to, a time to disconnect from the digital world and immerse myself in the words on the page. But the benefits of reading went beyond just the act of reading itself. I noticed that my concentration improved, my stress levels decreased, and my vocabulary expanded. I also found that reading before bed helped me unwind and sleep better. One particularly impactful moment was when I read a passage about resilience in a book on personal growth. The words struck a chord with me, and I realized that I had been underestimating my own resilience. It was a powerful reminder that we often have more strength and courage than we give ourselves credit for. Incorporating reading into my daily routine also sparked my curiosity and inspired me to learn more about different topics. I started exploring subjects I had never considered before, from history to philosophy to science. Each book was a journey of discovery, and with each page, I felt my mind expanding and my perspective broadening. If you're struggling to find time to read, I suggest starting small. Set aside just a few minutes each day, even if it's just 10 pages. Choose books that genuinely interest you and that you can look forward to reading. Remember, it's not about how much you read, but the habit of reading regularly that can make a huge difference in your life. Reading is like exercise for the mind. It keeps it sharp, open, and engaged. And who knows, that one book you pick up today might just change your life. Habit number 8, decluttering. The 5th habit that had a significant impact on my life was decluttering. Now, I'm not just talking about tidying up your physical space, though that's a big part of it. I'm also talking about decluttering your mind and your digital life. Let's start with the physical aspect. My home was always somewhat cluttered. Papers on the desk, clothes piled up in the closet, and random stuff scattered everywhere. It wasn't a total disaster, but it wasn't exactly a peaceful environment either. I didn't realize how much this clutter was affecting me until I started to declutter. I began with one room at a time, tackling small areas like my desk or a closet. I followed the simple rule of only keeping things that I truly needed or that brought me joy. If something didn't serve a purpose or make me happy, it had to go. It wasn't easy. Some items had sentimental value, and it was hard to let go. But as I started to create more space, I noticed a shift in my mood and energy. My home began to feel lighter, more open, and more peaceful. One of the most liberating moments was when I cleared out my closet. I had clothes I hadn't worn in years, but I kept them just in case. Letting go of those items not only freed up physical space, but also felt like I was letting go of the past and making room for new experiences. Decluttering didn't stop with my physical space. I also decluttered my mind and digital life. I started by reducing the number of notifications on my phone. I realized that constant pings and alerts were overwhelming me and keeping me in a state of constant distraction. I turned off all non-essential notifications and set specific times to check my messages and emails. This simple change brought a sense of calm and focus that I hadn't felt in a long time. Another powerful step was decluttering my digital space. I went through my computer and phone, deleting old files, organizing documents, and unfollowing social media accounts that didn't add value to my life. I also unsubscribed from email lists that cluttered my inbox. The result was a cleaner, more organized digital environment that was less stressful and more efficient. One day after finishing a decluttering session, I sat down in my now tidy living room, and for the first time in a long time, I felt completely at ease. The physical space around me was a reflection of the mental space I had created, a space of clarity, simplicity, and peace. Decluttering taught me the value of simplicity and the importance of being intentional about what I allow into my life. Whether it's physical possessions, digital content, or mental clutter, it's a habit that has brought me more peace and focus than I ever thought possible. If you're feeling overwhelmed or stuck, I highly recommend starting with a small decluttering project. It could be as simple as cleaning out a drawer or organizing your digital files. You might be surprised at how much lighter and more focused you feel once you let go of what no longer serves you. Habit 9. Mindful eating. Habit number 6 is one that might surprise you: mindful eating. This is something I had never paid much attention to before. I used to eat on the go, multitasking, and often barely tasting my food. But once I started practicing mindful eating, it changed my relationship with food and my body in profound ways. The concept of mindful eating is simple. It's about being fully present while you eat, savoring each bite, and listening to your body's hunger and fullness cues. It's not about dieting or restricting food, but about cultivating a more conscious and enjoyable eating experience. I started by making a few small changes. I set aside time to eat without distractions. No TV, no phone, just me and my meal. I also began eating more slowly, taking the time to really taste and enjoy each bite. The first time I tried this, it felt strange. I was so used to rushing through meals that slowing down felt almost unnatural. But as I continued to practice mindful eating, I noticed some incredible benefits. First, I started to appreciate my food more. I found myself savoring the flavors, textures, and aromas in a way I never had before. A simple salad became a delightful experience, with the crispness of the vegetables, the tanginess of the dressing, and the freshness of the herbs. I also became more attuned to my body's signals. I realized that I often ate out of habit or boredom rather than true hunger. By eating mindfully, I was able to recognize when I was genuinely hungry and when I was satisfied. This led to a more balanced and intuitive approach to eating. One memorable experience was a weekend lunch I had in my garden. I prepared a simple meal of fresh vegetables, grilled chicken, and quinoa. As I ate, I focused on the vibrant colors of the vegetables, the smoky flavor of the chicken, and the nutty taste of the quinoa. I noticed how the sunlight warmed my skin and how the breeze carried the scent of blooming flowers. It was a moment of pure mindfulness and joy. Mindful eating also helped me make healthier choices without feeling deprived. By truly enjoying my food, I found that I naturally gravitated towards nourishing foods that made me feel good. I stopped craving unhealthy snacks because I was more satisfied with my meals. Another powerful aspect of mindful eating was the sense of gratitude it brought into my life. I began to appreciate the journey of my food, from the farmers who grew it to the hands that prepared it. This sense of gratitude added an extra layer of meaning to my meals and deepened my connection to the food I was eating. If you're looking to improve your relationship with food, I highly recommend giving mindful eating a try. Start by setting aside time for one meal a day where you eat without distractions. Focus on the flavors, textures, and sensations of the food. Listen to your body's signals and eat at a pace that allows you to fully enjoy each bite. You might be surprised at how much more satisfying and nourishing your meals become. Mindful eating is not just about what you eat, but how you eat, and it's a habit that can bring more joy and awareness into your daily life.